Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Brian Horror, not horror, so don't get it twisted. Hi everybody, I'm so sorry. I usually post my Where Are They on Wednesdays. That's what they're called, Where Are They Wednesdays. But unfortunately, I've been a little bit busy lately just because I have been working a lot at work. I do have school usually on Mondays and Wednesdays. So I kind of, even last week I posted, not on Wednesday but on Thursday, so I apologize, but like I'm still gonna be posting. I'm gonna be consistent on my channel. We're not gonna take breaks anymore. You guys are gonna have a video at the latest by Sunday or Saturday. If I can get this video edited by tomorrow, which would be Saturday, then I'll have it up on Saturday, which I apologize once again. Today's case is actually gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a really like old case. I never talked about like a super duper old case on my channel, and I kind of want to talk about this one because it's been over 31 years, I think, up until this year that this person has been missing. And this one is actually really scary. There was hardly any evidence in this case, so I felt like I had to talk about it. It's still sad. There's no evidence if this person's still alive or not. So let's get right into it. It's gonna be a short one, you guys, so let's get right into it. So I am going to be talking about the case of Michaela Garrett. So Michaela Garrett was actually 9 years old at the time of her disappearance. She went missing from Hayward, California. If you don't know where that is, that's basically the Bay Area near San Francisco. And she actually went missing on November 19th of 1988. So this all started basically when Michaela was going on Thanksgiving break. So it was her first day of Thanksgiving break, and she was asking her mom and begging her mom for her to let her go to the store, which was the Rainbow Market, which was only 4 blocks away. And her mom finally had agreed after lots of begging from her mom, and her mom only agreed on one condition: if she was gonna go with a friend, because they never allowed Michaela to go anywhere alone. So her mom agreed, and she was so excited, so she went to meet up with her friend at her friend's house. Her friend's name is Katrina Rodriguez, but she goes by the name of Trina, I believe. So she met up with her friend Trina, and her dad gave them the $5, and she was super ecstatic. So both of the girls went on their scooters to the Rainbow Market once again, which was 4 blocks away from Michaela's house. So when Michaela actually got there with her friend Trina to the Rainbow Market, they left their scooters right in front of the door, well, like basically the entrance of the market. And the girls both went in there. They went to go buy their sodas, snacks, I think beef jerky if I remember correctly, some Laffy Taffy candy. I did try to study her case a lot, so I know exactly what she ate or what she bought with her friend. And you know, they were basically having a good time, and they decided to leave the market. But when they left the market, they were already actually walking almost on their way home when they remembered that they had left the scooters right in front of the entrance. Since they were just so excited, they, I guess, apparently forgot, so they decided to go back to get the scooters. Once they got back to the market, they realized that there was only one of the scooters, and automatically Michaela did spot her scooter, which was actually located, I believe, like 3 or 4 parking spots away from the market, which is actually leaning, I don't know if it was like leaning against, but it was like sitting basically next to a car. So Michaela's friend, you know, decides to go get her scooter, and Michaela goes, you know, to pick up her. In the process of her picking up her scooter, a man opens the door of the car. He gets out and grabs Michaela by her waist and throws her in the car. And Katrina remembers hearing screams, and when she looks up is when she describes seeing her best friend getting grabbed by a man and gets thrown in the car, and the guy backs up out of the parking lot and speeds out. So Trina decides to go into the market and tells one of the cashiers that a man took her friend, and that's when the cashier actually calls 911, and the police are on the scene in a short amount of time. One thing that I do remember from this case is that the cashier did state that she had seen a suspicious man lurking in front of the market when the girls were shopping inside, and he actually walked around like the front of the market through the windows looking inside, and she is guessing that he was probably actually looking at the girls, and that's when he, you know, decided to make this little plan of, you know, basically making her, you know, go get the scooter by taking one of the scooters. when the police did get a description, Trina did describe the man being around like 6 foot tall. He was a white male. He had dirty ash blonde hair, shoulder length. He did have a lot of pimples in his face. That's one of like the best descriptions that Trina was saying, that he had like a bunch of pimples around his face, or like pimple scars or whatever, but he was very pimply. He was wearing a white t-shirt at the time when Michaela was kidnapped, and his car was actually like a tan sedan. It was very, from what she described it was very beat up. It had like dents in it. There was like cement stains on like the outside of the car. It was like a really suspicious looking car. But from what she described the car, it was really hard for investigators and police to actually have a good description of what type of make and model the car was. So there's not an exact, I can't tell you guys, what kind of car it was. But they just described it being an older car. It was a sedan, 4-door. Another thing, like I said, this case is kind of really hard because back in the 80s, it was hard. There was no such thing as an Amber Alert. There was no such thing as social media. So it was kind of like harder for them to like distribute, like Michaela's story across, the states, the country or whatever. But I did hear that in this case, within like 24 hours of Michaela going missing, they did distribute missing person flyers, and she was put on milk cartons in her school, and that's how they got her story across. They did do a few news segments on her case, but from what I did also read about this case is that the Hayward police did take Michaela's scooter in for forensic testing, but unfortunately when they did test the scooter, they only found palm prints on the handles, which were unfortunately unidentifiable to, that's how you say it. Unidentifiable. They were unidentifiable, so there was no trace of who they belonged to. In the first year of Michaela's case being talked about, there was over 5,000 tips that did come into the police department, and up to today there has been up to 15,000 tips for her case alone. Unfortunately, guys, this is all I have for this week's case. There's not a lot of evidence. Unfortunately, it is a cold case. She has been missing for over 31 years, which is very sad. They haven't been able to find any evidence, no clothing pieces, no remains, and they believe that she might have been human trafficked, or she might have been killed, but unfortunately there's no evidence of either or. So I thought it was very important for me to talk about this case. Honestly, she was kidnapped in broad daylight, and I did want to talk about this case because unlike the other cases that I've talked about, there was a key witness, and the key witness was Trina Rodriguez, which is her best friend that did see her get kidnapped. That's basically all I have for today, you guys. Unfortunately, it's really sad. If you have any information, of course, on the whereabouts of Michaela Garrett, of course, I'm going to throw the information right here on phone numbers, and of course, like I always do, on the description box below, I'm going to be putting more contact information. I do believe that Michaela's mom to this day still has a blog where she writes to Michaela in case she's still alive, and she does have a lot more information on this case in more depth and more detail. Unfortunately, I did not use all the details. I did not see the blog, but I'm going to be looking for it, and I will also put it down in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's case. I love you guys so much. Thank you for showing me a lot of love on last week's case, on Daniel Gallardo's case. I did get a lot of views on that one. Not like a lot, of course, because I'm like nobody here on YouTube, but it's like the most popular case that I've done yet. So I hope you guys really are enjoying the series. I appreciate you guys. I don't know why I'm getting so tongue twisted. I'm not gonna edit this out, but I hope you guys are really enjoying this content a lot. I'm gonna keep putting out more crime, and I'm gonna try to do like supernatural cases too soon. I will be seeing you guys on next week's episode of Where Are They Wednesdays, and I will post it on a Wednesday this time. I'm not gonna slack, but I hope you guys are happy that I am putting more content out there. I love you guys so much. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys on next week's video. Bye guys.